This is Devin Tingle. Make sure you join me, the Paulacious one, Paul Shivari, the Marvelous one, Dan Marver, and Sports from the Couch's Mike Mercado every Sunday night, 9 p.m. for the Sports Cubicle. But right now, we're clocked in for the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
Right. So, a lot of times, welcome, by the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hal Sparks. And YouTube, help us jump our numbers up. We've been doing great. We really have. I mean, the trolls are responsible for that. Trolls get in here and they start typing things and don't recognize that it tells the algorithm I'm really interesting. Mm-hmm. And so every word they type, every moment that the algorithm says, they got up and they actually started engaging. This guy's engaging. Therefore, my CPM on ad rev goes up. The more, and I can see why people clickbait in a lot of their stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's really hard not to do it, right? It's really hard not to write like clickbaity title. This is the end of somebody got devastated by this is boom. All the things are dying, but whatever the stupid, all the things are dying. Yeah. I mean, it's just silly. And I'm not going to do it. I have no interest. People will find me organically and us on this show, on the Saturday show, organically over time. I know I'm not cutthroat enough some ways, but yeah, destroyed. Yeah. Democrats in disarray. Right. But it's nice to be able to put that like 50% in there. And you can just see when I put just a mild truth into the title of my show, all of a sudden like, no, brigade starts coming out of the woodwork. Yeah. Yeah. So fun. And I have a hard time, like we usually, yeah, all it is like, yeah, this is just true. I mean, it's not like, I'm not mic dropping. I'm not beating up on anybody. It's just true. Zogby has Biden at 49.7%. The Quinnipiac is an outlier. Trump never hit 45. And Gallup had, at the lowest point in his presidency, Clinton was at 37. Biden hasn't hit that number. And
what number was he at during the Lewinsky debacle?
69.
Come on.
That's
there
true.
You go. Attaboy.
He peaked at 69 during the Lewinsky's. I'm not kidding. On Gallup only, though. I don't know the rest of the thing. Yeah. So in this, I don't like to do a lot of Schadenfreude, and Schadenfreude in the happy ending. But I have to say that one of the fun things to watch, and by the way, I will be live streaming Trump's Arizona rally this afternoon, which will be hilarious and boring and repetitive and silly and funny. And so please join me this afternoon. It's at 7 o'clock, I think, in Arizona, his time. So I think it might be the same here. I don't know where the line is. He might be mountain wherever he is. He's usually out in some field somewhere.
I'm still convinced. I know we've had this discussion before that mountain time doesn't exist.
Right. Yes. They're just being, it's Ayn Rand time. They live in a hollowed out mountaintop in Denver and pay each other in John Wick coins. Right. So
John Wick coins.
Right. That's the Ayn Randian part of
dug up from a basement.
Yeah. Yeah, you busted open a crate. Okay, so there's a lovely little story. We've seen a lot of right-wing talking points that they were counting on, by the way, running on in 2022. I mean, they're for the election this year, they're counting on some of this. They're still running on lumber prices from June. They're going to be running on anything they can. And most of this stuff they think is going to stick around. They think the debt ceiling and the fact that the Senate, no Republican senators voted for the rise in the debt ceiling to pay for Trump's debt. You raise it to pay the interest on the debt accrued during the Trump years. That's what not till the next debt ceiling raise will it incorporate anything, if anything, that Biden did.
Right.
Because monetary policy could raise it slightly because of a percentage. And if we want to still pay down some principal, we would have to raise the debt ceiling on what we can pay so that we can start paying down some of the debt. What a concept. So Anyways, never mind the fact that they dodged paying for all the stuff that they accrued during that time. Yeah, they'll do a bunch of like, remember what Fauci did? Masks. Like we're still going to be in the same situation in June, much less during the election cycle in October of this year. Are you kidding me? As far as we are away from the original Alpha or even the Delta variant, and there's like 3 pills for treating it beyond the vaccines that are coming out that will be out by spring, that will be available by prescription and very cheap by June. There's no way when that stuff's available that we're masking everywhere. It's just, it's going to end earlier, but there's even then as an outlier. And if that's what you're going to run on, what plan do you have? Right? So anyways, one of the biggest talking points besides, lumber and of course inflation year over year, which again, if you do year over year, because it's artificially high compared to the artificial low of the middle of the pandemic, it will, even if it goes up, look artificially low compared to this year. So Biden will be able to claim that he's lowered inflation, even if it materially by the numbers didn't go down, which it will. But because the percentage year over year that everybody's been selling will go down because it's comparative to an artificially high year where the number was inflated by the year before. So it's just so dumb. They're painting themselves into these corners, and it's hilarious. And one of them was, no one who attacked the Capitol has been charged with sedition or insurrection. This has been a story for a while. Now, never mind the fact that sedition and insurrection is way harder to prove than, say, trespassing and defecating in the Capitol or attacking a cop. Because sedition and insurrection have to do with the why. Proving the motive in that is a way harder sell.
Right.
Especially if you're using, apps to hide your Signal. If you're talking on Signal and it gets rid of all your texts and obliterates them on both ends after you've sent them, right? It's a kitty.
It's a kitty.
If you use Signal, it's harder to prove that you were engaged in any kind of conspiracy. Those are always longer. RICO investigations always take longer than, we caught you in the bank. But we also found out that you robbed 3 other banks and you were planning on robbing 5 more. And your conspiracy to commit grand, larceny and robbery and murder or whatever, those kind of things, because you were going to kill one of your rivals and that you're going to go to jail for, that they can charge you with, to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt of a plan that involves everyone and they can convince a grand jury and then a jury, takes way more time. Right? It just does. And so it's no surprise that they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's and doing this. And ta-da! This week, dude from the Oath Keepers, who wears a patch because he shot his own eye out.
Is that why he wears that patch?
Uh-huh. I believe so. That's right. Hold on. I gotta cover this up. Hold on. I'm pretty sure Stuart, Stuart Rhodes, shot it. I'll just to clarify, I'm live on the air. I'm going to make sure that I'm not just rolling with something, or is he? Yeah. His wife calls him a complete psycho. Let's see. The rest of Farley, a new chapter, no dangerous wife. Yeah. Oh, sorry. She called him a complete sociopath. My bad. My mistake. I apologize.
Oops.
Yeah. I'll find it in here. Yes, he did. I know it was he caused his own injury. It was his own personal Christmas story. Yeah. So, yeah, he got a Red Ryder BB gun. Right.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out. Oh, Mom. And they filed against him and 10 other defendants who all showed up in the same outfit, all wore patches for their cute little organization, all put their hand on the shoulder in front of them and marched in like it was a military exercise. And thankfully, are complete and total idiots, because if they'd had a brain between them, they'd have been successful, because they had all the materials they needed. They had guns nearby. They were going to get, they did find coordinating text, and that's what brought this, finally did it, was they found that some of these guys, interestingly enough, a significant number of these guys had a lot of guns and ammo in their vehicles parked nearby, not on them, with a signal code that they were going to send to everybody, go get your guns, basically. And just fascinating. Oh, we're out of time. Look at that. So the death we end. Yeah, wow, that went by fast. We end with another dead right-wing talking point. Nobody's been charged with sedition, and these guys won't be the last. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much. See you guys later on this afternoon for the Trump rally. If you want to go there, infotainmentwars.com. And, of course, twitch.tv/HalSparks. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't shoot your eye out. Be careful out there. We love you. We'll see you next week.